here's how I see this. At the point that the officers are knocking on the window, he's putting the window up, I think they had every right to get him out of the car and even to detain him in cuffs. But it also seems they probably went too far in how they got him out of the car. Officer Danny Torres is on administrative duty while the department investigates the incident. Joining us now is Julius Collins. He is the attorney for Tyreek Hill. Thank you very much for taking the time. Appreciate it. First, let me ask you about the comment that Tyreek Hill made today, that he could have been better, he could have done better. Isn't it more than that, though? I mean, didn't he literally create a safety hazard for the officers and also sort of do it with a kind of sense of entitlement?
Absolutely not. I think we have to be careful when we talk about safety hazards. We understand that policing and traffic stops are inherently dangerous for law enforcement, right? But you have to be careful and you have to look at the initial officer, right? You have to look at who made the traffic stop. Even after he knocked on the window, Mr. Hill did lower the window to an extent, and they were actually communicating. Regardless of what the communication was, you could see him, he had already identified, and Mr. Hill had provided his driver license. Now, at that point, when the other officer comes in, that's who escalated it. So the safety aspect of it, I still say you have to look at the initial officer. Did he feel threatened, right? Was he going to snatch Mr. Hill out of the vehicle? And I think the body camera is telling that he wasn't in fear of his life. There was no safety issue that initial officer who originally knocked on the window felt. It all escalated once the second officer came to the window and said, "We'll break this freaking glass if we have to." And then the initial officer said, "Hey, get out the car." And the body cam goes further. So we have to look at the body camera as a whole. And Mr. Hill says, "Okay, I'm getting out. I'm getting out. I'm getting out." And then he reaches in and snatches the door open and then snatches Mr. Hill out of the vehicle.
Right. So let's agree on the overreaction part, right? Because I do think that the officer's probably going to get in trouble, if not fired, for
Correct.
what happened after the fact. I remain concerned, though, that there is not an acceptance of responsibility for both him putting the window up and also talking to the officer as if he's a peon, and that Tyreek Hill is a famous football player who the cop didn't know that, but he's talking like someone who is better, more important than the cop who's trying to do his job.
I think that's absolutely incorrect. I think Mr. Hill in his press conference absolutely took responsibility. As you all just played the video clip, he said, he could have handled it totally different. He could have handled it better. To assume state the position that he's talking to a cop like he's a peon. And again, the body camera goes further. The officer actually did know who he was. The body cameras, there's like 5 to 6 different body cameras. And it says, "Oh, that's Tyreek Hill."
A later officer realized it, yeah.
Right, but we still don't know if he didn't know at the beginning once he has his driver license, right? But to say he talked to him with a sense of entitlement like he's a peon, absolutely not. I don't think this came from a place of privilege. It doesn't come from a place of entitlement. It came from frustration from having his window knocked on the way that he did not agree with. That's it.
But does he get to choose how the window gets knocked on? I mean, every day people get their windows knocked on by cops. All I'm trying to make sure is that the same standard is applied, right, to everyone, which is why I'm critical of the way the officers handled the second part, but I am critical of your client in the way that he handled the first part. You get final word on that.
Right. Yeah, no, and it's okay to disagree and it's okay to be critical on it because, again, he's already taken responsibility and said he could have done this better. He wish he could go back so he can do this better. Right. But when we look at law enforcement, again, we have to look at the communication that he had with the first officer. Did this officer feel like he was any threat in any way? Again, it was escalated by the second officer. And when we're talking about entitlement and all of this stuff, a lot of times law enforcement officers forget, right? You're a normal person. There's even a saying when somebody bam on your window or your door hard, you say, "Man, you're knocking on my door like you're the police." Because of that hard knock, because welcome to police knocking loudly, right? And then it goes into a whole new era that it should not have gone into. So again, he's taking responsibility. He did a press conference. It's just the escalation, the constant policy violation. Even once you look at it, you can see the second officer's hand on the back of his neck. Again, there's more body camera where he grabs him by the back and the front of his neck as well, which is a standard. It's a SOP violation. So again, everyone needs to be critiqued, so we definitely appreciate that, and he's already taken responsibility.
All right.
But like he said, the officer has to go. Because
Well,
what happens next to the next person?
thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.